What's going on, guys? Balkan Architect here, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to create this cool lighting family that will improve drastically all of your renderings. So this cool light family is one of those, those light strips that they place pretty much everywhere in fancy interiors or exteriors just to make for a cool ambient lighting in your building or in your living room or whatever. I find this really cool, and they can make a space look really amazing. So I thought I would recreate something like this in Revit so you can play around and create some amazing renderings or just improve the quality of all of your projects altogether. I have used this family over the years on many projects, so I decided to make a dedicated tutorial on how to create that family so you can use it in your projects. Now, before I get into that, one quick thing, I would just like to ask you to like this tutorial. It helps me out a lot with the YouTube algorithm, and also make sure to subscribe. I make useful Revit tutorials each week, and I make one advanced Balkan Architect course each week. All of these courses are available on my Patreon, first link in the description of this video. There I have a whole course dedicated on lighting in Revit and things like that, so all advanced topics are covered. And also you can find all of my Revit project files like this useful cool family that I'll be creating today. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's get into the tutorial. When it comes to modeling this family, the template or choosing the correct template is where it's at. So we have to make sure to have the correct template for this particular project. Now, it's going to be a family, so of course we're going to go here to families. And here when I click on new, we're going to have all of the templates pop up. And the one that you want to choose is going to be the line based. So metric generic model line based. Now, the reason for a line based is because this is a family that we're not going to be really sure of how long do we want that little light strip to be. So in some cases it's just going to be quite short, maybe half a meter or something like that, and in other cases it's going to be, I don't know, like 10 meters or something. So that's why I want to have the ability to change the size of the family, but you want to do it organically. And what this model line based family template does is it allows you to basically click on two spots, and then those two spots are connected by a line, and that line is going to be, of course, lit up when we create our family. So just double click here and open up that template. Now, before we can do anything with this particular template, we have to create the actual light family. Now, for the light family, we have to go again to File and again to New Family. And once we're here, I'm just going to go and do or create a light family. So you need to go to a lighting fixture. So select metric lighting fixture, click OK. And there we go. Now you get a family that looks like this. You get this little yellow circle in the middle, and that's your light source. Now you can change it from existing into, I don't know, something that looks like this. This is the photometric web is what I found that works best in Revit. Hit apply, OK, and it's going to look all weird like this. Next, to adjust this, you have to go here to your family types and then just change it. Here the tilt angle needs to be 90 degrees, and then the photometric web file, change it from generic into something a bit better. And in this case, I'm gonna let you choose any which one. So you can choose, I don't know, this one. Hit apply, OK, and we have something that looks like this. Now, if we look at it from the left or the front, it's going to look like this. So there we go. That's what the family looks like. Now, what I like to do is to bring it really low, so something like 5 millimeters, and then switch the orientation. So let's go back here, and instead of 90, let's go with minus 90. Hit apply. Okay, so as you can see now it's facing up, and that's exactly what you want to have. Now, the problem with these families is if I were to save it, this yellow part isn't visible later on. So if you save it like this, it's going to be basically, it's going to look like an empty family. So we need to add some geometry in order to make this family controllable. And for that, let's go back into reference level, go with create, extrusion, circle, or just any geometry will do. And let's make a small 4 millimeter diameter circle. And and the whole thing is going to light up orange, giving you an error message. Now let's just close that message off, go to the front elevation, and let's see what's the problem. Well, the light source is this point over here, and it's inside of geometry, and that can't work. So let's bring it down to something like 2 millimeters. So you select it, you select this little piece of geometry, bring it down to 2 millimeters, and you have something that looks like this. Now this will do the job. Okay, so once we have this modeled and we have the whole light set up, let's go ahead and save this family, and I'm just going to save it on desktop. Let's call it the LED single. Click OK, there we go. Now make sure to save the family before loading it in, because it's going to mess up everything later on if you don't. So just getting the habit of saving and naming nested families before you nest them inside of the larger family. Okay, with this done, let's go here and load this into the project, and we have to load it here, and there we go. Now we can just place it there. Okay, so we have this placed, and we have that little dot in the middle. So what you want to do now is we have to create an array of this. So the first thing that we need to do is lock this into the center position, which is over here. So the center of the family is determined by these two lines, so that's over here. Now for that, I prefer using the align tool. So you just use the align tool, you click first here on the vertical axis, find the little vertical axis on your little button, and you lock it in place. Same thing goes here. You select the horizontal axis, find the horizontal axis here, and you lock it in place. Okay, so once this is locked or positioned perfectly, what you want to do is create an array. So you just go here to Array, click there, you select the element, and then hit enter, and there we go. Now the array is going to be a linear array. The number is going to be, let's go with 5 or some arbitrary number, doesn't really matter. Just go with more than 2, it's going to make it a bit easier on you. And here, instead of move to second, let's go to move to last, and there we go. Next, what you want to do is select the center point, and then move it, and just place it like this, oddly placed. Now, the reason I did this is so I can now lock it in place and align it properly. So you go back to the align tool, you select the vertical line here, and then you select this vertical line, you'll lock it in place. Same thing for horizontal. So you select first the horizontal, then this horizontal line, and you lock it in place, and there we go. Looks good. Now you select any one of these lights, and once you do, you get this little weird dimension line, and that's the array, as you can see over here. So what this does is it allows you to control the number of these lights. Now what you can do is you can label it or turn it into a parameter by going here to label, and instead of none, let's check add parameter. Let's call this one NO for number of lights. There we go. Okay, so once we have this parameter, and I did make a mistake, let's go here into edit type, find that parameter, let's go into edit and make it an instance parameter. Click OK, there we go. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is we need to connect this somehow to the length. So the length is currently at 1200 millimeters. So let's do divided by, I don't know, let's do divided by 12. So you select here, you go ahead to this menu, and then you type in here in the formula length. Make sure you type in exactly the number, so if you mess it up, it's going to be, well, messed up. And then you divide it by a certain number, so you can go with 12 or, I don't know, any which number. So let's try 10 perhaps. Hit apply. Okay, so, okay, I misspelled this. So as you can see, you have to spell it perfectly. There we go, so we have many lights. Okay, 10 is way too much. So let's try 100, apply, okay. Okay, this works. So we have like each 100 millimeters or 10 centimeters, we have a light. So that's what that means. And Yeah, and the reason why I created it as an instance parameter was because that means that that parameter can then change from instance to instance. So if you have multiple families in your project loaded in at once, each one can be different. Okay, so once we have all that set up, let's click OK here. Let's flex it up. So let's select this, move it a bit further away. There we go. And as you can see, we have added families. If I go here into edit type, now we have 17. Now if I cancel and make it smaller, now if we go into edit type, we have 13. So as you can see, the family works perfectly. Now you just have to save it. So let's go to save it on desktop as LED strip. Click OK, and there we go, we're done. Now let's try to open this up within a project and see what that looks like. Okay, now it's time we apply this in a real-world situation, or at least in a cool building. So this is the project that I have created, a simple house in Revit. It's a 5-part course, and I also have a couple of hours where I show you how to improve render realism. And this is what we've got there. But I didn't do any night renderings, so I thought it would be cool to improve this with our new light strip family and then see what the renderings would look like. So let's start playing around with this. So in order to place the family, we have to navigate to the 3D view, of course. So here we go, this is the 3D view, and of course I have a section box around this just because it's going to make it a bit simpler. Now let's start placing our family. So let's first load it in. I'm going to go here to component, then go to load family, and then let's go to desktop. Here it is, LED strip, open that up. And now we can place it. Now what I'm going to do is orbit around a little bit, and let me place it here on the bottom of this roof. Now make sure that draw on face is selected, and then you can basically place this family on any face. So as you can see, if I orbit around this model and if I move my cursor, we can place it on any existing face. So in this case, I want to select the face which is the bottom of this roof. There we go. So you click once, and then you can stretch it out, and then you click once again, and I'm just going to click there, hit the escape key a couple of times, and then zoom in. Now make sure that you can see these little lights, because if you can't, then you have to click this button to flip the work plane. So in some cases you are going to be able to see it, in some not. So if they are kind of inside the geometry, you just flip the work plane and then they are facing down, which is what you want to have. Also, you can place these at edges of certain elements. So for example, here I can go to component and then place it here on the bottom of this wall. Now what I like to do is I like to have the whole surface on which I'm placing the family in view when I place it. The reason for that is because it tends to get really laggy when you have to orbit around, just because it's a complex family and then it's adjusting to the length. So if you start orbiting around before the second click, it's going to slow your computer really a lot. And for the final one, let's try placing it here. Maybe if I select the site and then go here and hide it. Okay, I have to hide this as well. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is just go to component and then place it maybe on the bottom of this pergola or whatever that's called. There we go. So we have some here. There we go. I think this will work for the rendering. Now we can just go here and reset temporary hide isolate. Okay, so once we have done this, let's now test it out. So I'm going to go to the front entrance camera. Now, if you want to download this project file or see the whole course, check out my Patreon. First, a link in the description. So there we go. This is the heads up look. Now let's go ahead and render. So I'm just going to go here to view and then go to render. This will open up the render dialog. The scheme is going to stay exterior, but I'm going to go with artificial lights only. And I'm going to switch the settings to medium, and then let's go with screen just to make this a bit quicker to render. And once I have all of these settings done, let's just hit render. And here we go. This is what you get. So as you can see here, we have that light strip here in the roof, so that's illuminating the facade a little bit and the roof. Then we have this one over here that's illuminating the wall and a little bit of grass in front, and then we have this one that's illuminating the whole doorway. So there you go. As you can see, you can add some cool ambient lighting to your rendering, and it can make the whole thing look just perfect. So if you want to improve your interior and exterior renderings in Revit, make this family and use it as often as you want to create this cool ambient lighting. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this quick tutorial. Thank you for watching. If you want to download the project files that I used, like this building over here, check out my Patreon, first a link in the description. Also there you can find all of my advanced courses. I have a course on lighting in Revit. I have a course on this building that I have used here. It's a 5-hour course. Also a course on improving render realism and much more. So check it out if you're interested. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you with another tutorial in a couple of days. Have a nice day.